Hi there, welcome Cami. So today's solo paddle, I am launching from Lucas Road Bridge Access. It's northeast, a little bit of Cadillac. It's a little longer drive than I'm used to, maybe 40 minutes instead of 30 minutes. I don't launch from here very often. It's more upstream, morning, than what I usually do. But I just thought I'd do something different today, and and just paddle a different stretch of the river than I typically do. The skies are overcast. It was misty and foggy this morning. The sun broke through for a little bit, and now it's overcast again, but the temps are 58, slight breeze, so it should be a beautiful day on the river, and I hope you enjoy whatever it is that I capture on video. You know, sometimes when I paddle on the river, you know, it's part of the excitement and the thrill and the, I don't know what word I'm trying to find, but, you know, it's just, there's always the bends. There's always the bend, and you don't know what's around the bend. And I'm thinking, how so is life. So many bends and twists and turns in life, and you just never know what's around the bend. And all you can do is be prepared, like kayaking. Today I have all my stuff, all my gear. I'm prepared for just about anything that happens. If I tip over, I have dry clothes. I have a way to start a fire. I have snacks. I have extra hydration. I have my kitchen. I have my coffee. I have my life jacket on. I have a sturdy, strong paddle. I have my cell phone. I have my charger. I have my rain jacket if it starts to rain. And I have to trust my instincts, and I have to trust my skills that I have to maneuver around whatever is around the next bend. If it's a blowdown, I might have to get out in portage. If it's rocks, I look for the line. You just never know what to expect, just like in life. So you just have to be prepared, and you have to have the tools, and you have to have the resources to handle whatever the challenge might be. And sometimes the challenges are so great that you don't have the tools and the resources. And then you learn. You learn when you get through that challenge, and then the next time you're faced with that challenge around the next bend, it won't catch you off guard as much, and you'll be better prepared with it and for it. And the birds are just singing. Oh, you know, sometimes I go in woods. Gosh, I hope you can hear that. I go in woods, and sometimes I'll hike through woods and there won't be any birds. And it's kind of creepy feeling, to tell you the truth, because I often wonder, why aren't there any birds in this section of the woods that I'm hiking through right now? I have no idea. It's so beautiful. But, you know, it always like makes me wonder why I don't hear birds in certain section of woods. And then some woods are just so alive with the songs of so many different birds, and it's so soothing to me when I hear that. It just, when I'm by myself, it just brings me comfort to know that really we are never alone. And today I've heard a lot of birds so far, and usually I do when I'm on the river. And I had a flyover of a juvenile eagle already, and I tried really hard to tilt my camera up and turn the video on and get it going, but it flew off into the trees too fast, and so I didn't capture it. I just think I saw a camping spot, but you know, I'm always trying to scope out and scout different dispersed camping options on the river. And me and my friend, we've, you know, made points of it on our phones so we can come back to them. And a lot of times we'll get out and scope the area out to see exactly what it's like. And so I just saw one. It had a pretty steep bank that you'd have to buddy up against. And it's not always as easy to get out at a camp spot in a kayak as you think it would be. So I have been on kayak camp adventures, and I'm telling you, that's one of the most stressful times to me, is when it's time to find camp, because you pass by all these beautiful spots, low banks, maybe there's a little beach, a nice flat area, and you think, oh, it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock, you know, can't stop now, got to keep moving downstream. And then, you know, 5 o'clock comes, you're getting hungry, 6 o'clock. And then, you know, past 6, you're like starting to, not panic, but you're starting to be like, not as picky about where you're going to camp for the night, but it still has to be doable. So you have to come up along a bank that you can get out, secure your boat, get all your gear out of your boat, and not step out in waist deep water, waist deep muck, you know, so there's something to it. So I like to just take my time and paddle, and when I see a really awesome spot that looks really favorable for it, a lot of times I'll beach my boat, land my boat, and get out and walk around and scope it out. So I might do that today, and if I find any place, I might share it with you, I might not. I might just say, yep, there's dispersed camping, keep your eyes open. But so far, I haven't found anything yet, and I think I've been on the river for only 2 miles from launching. So, hey, there's some fisher people. Trout season open, so I should probably see a few fisher people out today. So anyway, I'll check in later. So far, what I've paddled has been very low. If you watch any of my past videos where I've kayaked, very high banks. This is very low. So I'm hoping maybe if I'm quiet enough, I might see some otter, maybe a mink, some deer at the river, maybe a bear. You have to be really lucky to see a bear. I have seen bear in the wild 4 times. So I have been very lucky. Of course, they're here in Michigan. No, I did see one on the Appalachian Trail when I section hiked that. We did see a bear in the ferns. but I have seen them here in northern Michigan, where I live, twice on a bike ride and once on a run. And all 3 times it was no problem. One bear stopped when they saw us and just took off through the woods, and it was huge. My friend thinks it was probably close to a 400-pounder. It was a big bear, and it was so fascinating because when it took off, we were in the Manistee National Forest on a 2-track and on our bikes, and when it took off, you couldn't even hear it running through the woods. It was just like, how can an animal that big not make a bunch of noise? But it didn't. And the other time I was marathon training with my friend, and we're running down the White Pine Trail, and there's a real marshy area, and we're running, and you're not making much noise when you're running, hopefully, and it just like boom, 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 boom across the trail. It didn't even look at us, kind of freaked us out, but it didn't look at us. And then the other time I was biking around one of our lakes on my bike, and this bear come out and just sat in the middle of the road. It was very young. It wasn't a cub, but you could tell it was young. And I stopped, and I'm like, okay. And it just sat there looking at me. And I said, okay, don't panic. Just get off your bike and slowly back away, and just back away. And so I did, and I'm like, dang it. I only have 1 more mile to go to get to the end of this route and go home. If I turn around and have to go all the way back around this lake, I just have 1 more mile. So I backed away slowly, and finally, after many minutes, it kind of got up and trotted off into the swamp. And I'm like, ooh, it was young, and do I dare keep biking past there? All these thoughts go through your head. Is it worth it? And all of a sudden a pickup truck comes up, and I just flag him down. And I said, hey, I just saw a young bear, and I just have to get to that road up there a mile. Would you mind escorting me? And they did. Nice young guys. They just drove behind me, how fast I was going. And so that was my other bear encounter. And so I've seen bear in the wild 4 times, and all 4 times it was never a big deal. But I know that they're not that easy to see, because a good friend of mine worked for the DNR for 20 some years, and she used to go out with them to try and find a bear on purpose, to tag them and check on them and everything. And she's never seen one in the wild. So it's not that common to have a bear encounter. So at least here in northern Michigan. Now they are on the rise. The population is growing. But it's one thing I don't worry about. I respect them, and I take care of my stuff when I'm out in the wild, like my food and my smellies, and and I talk and I make noise when I'm hiking, so I don't surprise them. They know I'm there. We're all good. And I just use my common sense and do the proper precautions that I need to do when I'm out camping and stuff in the wild. Because you don't want to entice a bear. My gosh, that's so detrimental to them, because they're the ones that are going to get in big trouble or euthanized if they cause trouble for us, So, I don't think that's fair if it's our own stupidity that causes it. But I doubt I'll see a bear on the river. I never know if I'm quiet enough, so I probably should stop talking, turn the camera around, and let you enjoy more of this beautiful scenery. was a big old rock. Well, I got off on this little launch. I've been paddling for just over an hour, and I thought, oh, I need to take a pee break, stretch my legs, maybe have a snack now. So I got off because I saw this, and I saw some cement sticking out of the water. So I stepped out, and my foot sunk deep, and I could not lift my foot out. And I finally got it out, but my Keens stayed under the water. I'm like, oh no, you don't. Brand new freaking Keens. I'm not losing you. So I reached down there and fished through the muck. I could barely pull the son of a bitch out of the muck. And then my other foot stuck, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I threw my Keen up that I had. Oh, I tried all my power and I got my foot out. My Keens are a mess. It's that kind of muck. I'm going to show you. It's like this. It's like freaking cement. So I can't even rinse them off. So I'm just going to throw them behind my seat. I don't even know. I could try and scrub them with my rag, but I got my socks on. So there was 2 young boys here just getting ready to launch. And I warned them. I'm like, do not step right there. And they're like, oh my God. But you can see now, you can see the cement is clearing out. So now I can at least see where I'm not going to step to get back in my kayak. But that cement's really slippery. So this is going to be a joy. Too bad someone's in here to videotape me launching, because it might be a good laugh once I get going. But I'm going to sit on these steps here. As you can see, I'm going to have some snacks. I'm going to make some coffee and just enjoy a little break in the river and yeah, just enjoy the peacefulness of it all. That was a horrible launch to get in and out of. Horrible. And those 2 young guys were being dropped off there by one of the livery services. It's horrible. The cement, maybe it's because the river's high, but the cement's totally submerged underwater, and it's slipperier than snot. And that muck is like cement. And I thought, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to launch, because I can't step on the cement. I'll slip and fall on my ass probably. And I can't step in that freaking muck cement. So there's a little area to the left of the cement that looked doable if I got the nose of my boat in, or the back tail end of my boat. So what I do usually is I'll put my boat halfway in, and then I'll straddle it, and I'll just push with my legs and push me away from the shore, and then I'll drop my legs into my boat once I get going. Oh, well, that one, I wish I had it on video, because I'm sure it looked absolutely ridiculous. And water got in my boat, so I think my nose must have went under the water or some, I don't even know, but it was, I'll never stop there again. It's about 6 6.3 miles down from where I launched at Lucas Road Bridge. Nope. Mental note. Unless that cement is out of the water and you have a way to get out on it, but I wouldn't recommend it if the cement's under the water. It was a pain in the ass, but I launched those two guys off. I said, you know what, just get in your boat and I'll shove you off. So I did. But god dang, that was not exciting. Kind of pissed me off, but I made it. I didn't get wet. Well, I kind of got wet, but my boat's a mess now, and whatever, it's just a kayak. I'm on the river, but don't stop. I'm not stepping in that launch again. So here we go. The sky is blue now. Can you see it behind me? So, oh, it's lovely. I have probably 9 more miles to go, because I think this is going to be, last time I paddled this from Lucas Road Bridge launch to 131 launch to the campground, it was 15 and a half, and I know from 131 parking lot launch site to the campground is like 2 miles. So this should be at least a 13-mile paddle. So I probably have 7 more miles so to go before I get to 131. Oh, I'm so happy the sky's cleared up and the sun is out now. I just had to vent that with you. I'm okay. I'm calmed down now. I'm going to paddle on and show you the rest of the river.
Nah, fuck. Dude,
Okay, so as you saw, I came upon these poor young gentlemen, and one has capsized and he lost his boat. We are now on land. We got them to shore. His name is Sam.
Hi.
And we're taking his wet clothes off right now, and I do have extra clothes with me. Sam, I'm giving him my blanket. I want you to wrap that around your waist. I gave him my long sleeve wool shirt to put on. He is not doing very well right now. I have called 911 and they are on their way. There you go, Sam. Very good. And I want you to put this coat on you. We need to get you warm. And I need you to lay the blanket down. I want you to lay down flat on your back, please, as soon as you get the coat on. So Sam has my wool coat on. He has my blanket. He's putting my rain jacket on for extra protection. I'm going to have him lay down, and help is on its way. It's a beautiful sunny day. Thank God it's not cold and rainy, but still, when you're in cold water for this long a time, it's only May. The river is not that warm yet. Hypothermia is still a real risk factor.
I know, mate. It's such a nice day.
So we're going to get Sam situated here and wait for help to come. Rescue has arrived, so we're good. Well, that was very exciting. I don't want to have to come upon that very often. But as you can see, the rescue people just arrived. Sam is doing fine, and they're going to take really good care of him. What a nice young man. And I was talking to him, you know, you have to prepare for water temperature, not the air temperature. The boys did have life jackets on, praise God, but they did not have the proper, they didn't have a safety bag with them. They didn't have a dry bag with them. They did not have a first aid kit with them. They just thought they were going to do this easy paddle on the Manistee River. And the Manistee River tends to look a little tame because it's so wide and slow, but all water needs your respect, and you need to be prepared. Luckily, these boys survived, and they hopefully have learned a very valuable lesson or two, and I am just so thankful that I came. It's funny. funny how life works, isn't it? Almost didn't paddle today. And, you know, I just think everything works out. I was in this river at this precise moment for a reason. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to help and be here for them and for Sam. So I'm going to paddle on. I have probably 5 more miles to go. I have contacted my husband to let him know I'm going to be a little behind schedule. But all is well. It turned out well this time. But you know, young people, well, I just had an older couple pass me. They probably kayaked this river hundreds of times. You know, they're just chilling out with no life jackets on. And, you know, I've capsized only once in my life. And I have probably paddled over 1,000 miles. But it just takes that one time, doesn't it? And you have to be prepared. And I told Sam it's very important to respect nature, because when a push comes to shove, usually nature's going to win. But the story had a good ending, and Sam was very appreciative, of course. And yes, so I'm going to continue on and show some more beauty to you. Okay, now it's affecting me. Just the seriousness of the situation, you know. In the moment, you stay calm and you do what needs to be done. And I just put my mom and my coaching into play with these boys. Of course, I stayed completely calm and in control of the situation at all times. And my goal was to stay calm so these boys did not panic. They were already panicking when I came up on them. And but now it's like, you know, just, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And the seriousness of it just has hit me, and I'm very overwhelmed with emotion right now. And maybe I just think about things differently since I've lost a son. How fragile life can be. And just like that, another mom could have lost a child today on this river. And I think that it's just making me very emotional. And now that it's all done and everyone's safe, it's just coming out, you know. I guess that's probably typical when you're in a situation like that after it's all said and done. But I'm so thankful I was paddling by. Those are the 2 young boys that I helped launch from that wretched launch back there. Those were the 2 young guys, and I asked them if they were kayakers, and oh yeah. Well, they probably have kayaked at some point, but experience, absolutely not. And the thing is that they were both panicking. The one boy was in his kayak still, and he was getting tangled up in trees. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have 2 in trouble at the same time. And I just was very stern with the one boy to take care of himself. I said, you take care of yourself. And because he was worrying about his friend, his cousin, and trying to he wasn't paying attention to himself. So I said, I have your cousin. You pay attention to yourself. And I was very calm and firm with the young man that was in the water. Bless his heart. He was trying so hard to maneuver, and we did pass by a bank that and I was trying to steer his kayak without tipping over, and I did tell him, do not grab my boat. And he listened to my voice. And but we were finally able to push it, and I just kept telling him, use all your strength, buddy, you've got this, just push hard. Okay, you're going to be able to stand up any minute now. Okay, you shove that boat in that bank now, you get out of this water. And he did. And anyway, but that's the thing, like I talked about, you never know what's around the next bend, do you? And you have to be prepared. And thank God that I was there, and I was able to remain calm and use my strength and my skills to help the situation and not hinder it. But oh my gosh, I'm just really emotional right now thinking about it and the what ifs, And I do think it's because of losing a son that I'm just emotional when it comes. I don't know, maybe we all are, but I just know that it hits me a lot harder now after David's death. And thank God a mother has a boy that's coming home to her tonight. Hi, turtles. You're not jumping off? Usually turtles jump off. That little deck is at the end of a boardwalk on this beautiful roadside park on 131, US 131, just south before you get to Fife Lake. Yeah. And it's a beautiful little deck. They have beautiful picnic tables up there, benches, and the boardwalk. And it's a short little walk down from the parking lot. And the parking lot is wonderful with outhouses, picnic tables, grills. So it's a really nice place to stop and stretch your legs or have a picnic if you're doing a long road drive along 131 and you need to get out.